You guys are live on YouTube.
They made me cut mine.
Cut your what?
My mustache.
Why?
Because I went to the carnival to trim it, or I messed up trimming it, so I had to cut it.
Offered a job?
Yep. You gotta do what you gotta do. Get that paper. Stop the light.
Definitely the state reps. That says a lot. I want to introduce my friend Tamara. I've known her for about 20 years. She's a recovery coach. Also, I forget what else, but I know she sells Mary Kay too. So, all right, please welcome Tamara Cummings.
Alyssa. That's live on YouTube.
Show me live. Show me
My
your
name is
teeth.
Tamara Cummings. I am a recovering alcoholic. I have 3 years sober.
Oh yeah, she did, didn't she?
Maybe I just want to come say a couple of words to you all. Addiction has rocked my family. Me and Amy, we had addiction together. We have some crazy stories, and we managed to come out of it alive together. And she's working to be a recovery coach as well. I work with CSB clients. I'm working with helping the mothers get their children back after they've been removed and the mothers get sober. We're finding nobody knows what to do with their lives. They're just there. Now they're just a person. They're sober, but they don't know how to fix their lives. So I work with them step by step, creating goals, achieving those goals, all the way down from just something simple as getting a birth certificate to getting their driver's license to obtaining housing, the simple things in life that we need to create a home for our children and create a life for ourselves. So I don't know, what I'm finding in recovery at 3 years in is a peace that I never could imagine. It's so surreal when I look at my life. You know, I'm on the dean's list every semester in college. I go to Stark State to be a drug and alcohol counselor. I'm a recovery coach for CSB, which is really ironic that I work with the judge who is presiding over my case when my own children were removed now. I'm getting ready to have my first car in Mary Kay. And I'm a mother. My kids are home. They're happy. I'm getting ready to be a grandma in a couple of months. And I'll be floating around here for a while. If anybody has any questions, talk to me about how to get involved with the recovery coaching process. If you want a recovery coach yourself, I'll give you my number. I'm always doing volunteer work with that. And yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out to support the community because we need it. It's bad out here. There's a batch of heroin that came in from Dayton, from my understanding, and it's just killing people left and right. So stay the course. Reach your hand out to your fellow man. You never know what anybody's going through. It seems addiction is rocking some part of somebody's life in some manner every day. People you wouldn't even think, you know, from the hood to the suburbs. It knows no boundaries. So with that, I pass. And come find me if you have any questions, okay?
Thank you so much. I know her and I both have a story to tell. But for now, I want Crystal Yoke to come up here. I think she's an amazing woman. She inspires me every day. I follow her on Facebook because when I'm down, I know I can go to her page and see something that just inspires me. So everybody welcome Crystal Yoke.
Hi, I'm Crystal Yoke and I'm a heroin addict. And I tell you that because I don't ever want to forget where I came from. And I will tell you today, we celebrate 26 months of sobriety. I would have never been able to do that without the help of the community, without the judges. You know, a lot of people think that the judges are bad people. My addiction started when I was 12. You know, I started with marijuana, cocaine, ecstasy, crystal meth. I got wrapped up in those crowds, you know, and everybody started going to prison. So then I turned to pain pills because I could get them from the doctors, and it was legal drugs. And those pain pills turned me to heroin. And I was an IV user for 6 years. And there for a while, it didn't matter what I was putting in that needle, whether it be bath salt, meth, heroin, whatever it may be. And then I got arrested, you know, and I got arrested and I hated everybody around me. I didn't want to go sit down in Summit County Jail. I definitely didn't want to go back in front of my judge. You know, but my judge gave me a second chance, and she sent me to that program called Turning Point. That's where I met Judge Teodosio. And Judge Teodosio is such a caring judge. He loves people, and he is so compassionate when it comes to addiction. If it weren't for him and that program and that team of people, I would not be standing before you. I would not be able to do any of the work that I do in the community today. At about 10 months sober, I started watching everyone around me die, and I was absolutely horrified. So I decided to have a walk. I had my first walk in July right outside the courthouse in Akron. A little over 400 people gathered, you know, and then I had another one in October in the city of Barberton. We had about 600 people. In 13 days, we will be walking again in Summit Lake, June 4th, 3 p.m. I have flyers with me, you know, and I'm hoping that everybody comes out. I want everybody to have a taste of recovery. I want everybody to know what it's like. You know, one of my biggest things was you're not going to have fun without the drugs. But after a while, the drugs aren't even fun anymore. The drugs are work. You know, it's a job. Only by the grace of God, I never lost my children, but I lost that relationship with them. You know, today they're 10 and they're 8, and they absolutely adore me. And there was a time that they hated me. I have a 7-year-old look at me and tell me that he wished I would die. And he asked me where he could get a new mom from, you know, because that's the kind of person I turned into. Nobody wanted to be around me. I help men and women today. I will get you to a meeting. I will get you into treatment. I go up to detox. I speak up there all the time. I actually just started a women's HA meeting. It's over on South Street. You know, it's a women's discussion. We need more women to come out and help support us. So I hope to see all of you June 4th.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I know some of you may not even, know about some of the things that go on around Akron. I'm one of those people. So right now, I just basically want to ask if anybody out there has anything they want to share, a story. You want to come up and share a story about a loved one that you lost to violence or addiction. All right? Ready? All right.
My name is Ron Ammons. Thank you. I'm an alcoholic. You guys can see that. Thanks. Sorry, I do not want to let our children be like me. Anything. And Amy, you know my wife, Stacy. That's where I'm getting. Plus, I knew Facebook here also. And like a affiliate. Past. So, turn back over to you.
Thank you so much. Give them a hand, please. Can I ask if does
What do you
anybody
do?
have anything they want to share? It's my mother, Joyce. Yeah, you do.
Joyce Dean!
All right, here she is. Welcome, Joyce. What did I do to myself? Come back this way. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I don't know what you know about me, but I know a lot about you, and you do know a lot about me because we're sort of the same. We're in the same family because I have had problems with people in my family that have done drugs and they have died. It was devastating. It killed me. And a lot of you are suffering right now because I see you. We have this connection. And I see it. And I want you to know that my son passed away in 2004. I never, ever thought a coroner, a detective, and a policeman was going to come to my home and say, "We found your son, Eddie, deceased." And that's what they said to me. But I didn't get it. I couldn't imagine happening, but it did. And I want you to know that there is a light. And the pain will never go away, that you'll never forget, you'll never be the same, but the pain does go away to a point to where you can function in your life. So I have, with the goodness of my daughter and my family and our friends, have done this crusade to help those who need help before we have to bury our children. I don't care how old they are. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They're still our children. I'm 62. My mom's 82, but I'm her child, no matter what. My son was 32 years old, and everybody knew him. He was the high guy at the party, the pot guy, I don't know everything, how it all occurred, until he got into methamphetamine and he couldn't get out of it. And he thought it was so hot this day. This is what I think when I think about him that day. It was 92 degrees. It was July the 7th, but they didn't find him until July the 10th. So that was a really hard thing to do because you didn't know where he was, you didn't know what had happened, but you had no sight of him anywhere. And I'm the one he trusted when he was high because he knew I wasn't a stoner. I didn't do those things. So he trusted his mother, but he didn't trust anybody else. And I thank God for that. I thank God that he showed me things when my son passed away that I trusted him. No matter what, I trusted him. And I put all my confidence in God because he's the one that makes me step each step every day. And that's what can happen to all of us. We can make that step a lot easier by putting our faith in someone that we don't see him, but we know he really does exist because he changes my whole everything all the time. When something's going bad, when I know something's going to happen, I have a Holy Spirit inside me, and he changes because he tells me, Joyce this, Joyce that. And I say, okay, I take steps back. I can't do that because I have to be guided by something that's a positive thing. And this is the positive thing right here, everybody right here. This is the positive thing that we do because we help each other, because we love each other. We have become a family. That's what we have done. Through this tragedy, or maybe an injustice, whatever it is, I don't understand it. Only I know that I have to because I have other children and grandchildren that I have to do for, but I also have my mother, and I know how it affected her, but I have to do this. So I have to keep taking those steps forward, letting every day be a new day to me and my family. And each one of you, you can do the same thing because I'm telling you, it took me 11 months just to get dressed. I couldn't even get dressed. I couldn't get out of the chair. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I didn't take a shower. My daughter would come over and say, come on, Mom, I'm going to help you today. Because if I didn't have those people, I didn't do it. I didn't even care. But now I do care because I see the ones that I know. I love them. I know them. I know them by a school or a church or the community or something, but I know them, so I'm compelled to help them. And that's what I want to do, is just to help. And if I help you today by saying what I said, I just say thank you very much for listening to me, but God bless everybody for coming.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm an alcoholic and an addict. I currently am a drug court client with Judge Oldfield. I also started my addiction at a very young age. Aunt April, you wanna come get her? Go to Aunt April. I had a 20-year addiction under my belt when I got sober, when I first got pregnant with her. I had 4 years of recovery when I relapsed. And never in a million years did I think it would happen to me, but between April and March of this year, I died of an overdose 4 times in 8 weeks. Judge Oldfield saw fit to put me in the county jail, which I really appreciate, because it honestly did save my life. A fifth time and I probably would have been dead, and that kid would have been with who knows who. I did get the option of rehab and messed it up and was placed back in Glenwood Jail. And currently serving 90 days house arrest. But it doesn't matter where I'm at doing my time, it's what I'm doing with that time. And I want my recovery back, I want my life back, and I want my daughter to be able to have a mother. All I can say is that it is possible. There are people out here, even if you haven't committed a crime, I'm sure there's a ton of people here right now that have recovery and that can help show you the way. Just ask around. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Right now, I was going to share a little bit on the statistics that has to do with violence. So the first thing that I want to address is the violence. The statistics show a decrease in gun violence and death. Death by a firearm is still one of the top 2 reasons people are dying in the United States today. Mass shootings, there were 372. There were 372 mass shootings in the U.S. in 2015, killing 475 people and wounding 1,870, according to the Mass Shooting Tracker. There's actually a tracker online you can go, and it's live. It's what the BBC reports. All right, there were 64 school shootings in 2015. 13,286 people were killed in the U.S. by firearms in 2015. And 26,819 people were injured, and those numbers exclude suicide. Those numbers are expected to rise in the final week of the year as they are counted at the end of this year. There's thought to be around 300 million guns in the United States, held by a third of the population. So that means every person in the United States could probably have at least 2 weapons. I don't have one. How many of you have well, I don't know if some of you want to say, but how many own a firearm here? Right.
I own a machete.
The U.S. has the highest homicide rate, 60% more than Canada, Australia, and the UK. The total number of people who were killed in the U.S. in 2015 from either gun, homicide, unintentional shooting, or murder-suicide was 12,942 people. You may not think that's a large number because there are like 318.9 million people in the United States as of 2014. But how many of those are youth? Children ages 0 to 11 killed or injured is 215. Number of teens age 12 to 17 killed or injured, 1,072. That's just in 1 year. On an average day, 91 Americans are killed with a gun. $12,000 gun murders every year in the U.S. Each day, 7 children and teens are killed with a gun. 51 women are shot to death by a current or former boyfriend or husband every month. To me, I think that speaks volume. America has a murder rate 25 times the average of